Alright, that should do it. Pull up our chat here. Can you see or hear me right now? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Alright, beautiful. Thank you, Lenina. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Paleontologizing. It's great to have you here. Happy I could stream today, and I'm happy that you could be with us. Welcome to wild and beautiful Wyoming, where we're out here digging up dinosaurs and lots of other Cretaceous critters. I'm at the Turtle Hill site today, along with Fisher. You can see his sun helmet down there. Yeah. So, we're looking for bits of turtle, bits of fish, bits of maybe crocodile, anything else we can find that'll help piece together what this ancient environment was like and what kind of critters were swimming around here at the time. So, yeah. And let's see what Ethan says. Copy that. Yeah. Anyway, welcome everybody. Now, my name is Danny Anduza, if it's your first time. If it's not your first time, my name is still Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. I'm here on Twitch trying to do some good old-fashioned science outreach. So, talking about fossils, talking about the history of life on Earth, talking about dinosaurs in particular, since dinosaurs are what I actually work on, what I dig up, what I study, what I publish on in the scientific literature. But we're not going to be finding too many dinosaurs today. We're looking for much smaller critters from this site at Turtle Hill. Again, trying to piece together what this ancient ecosystem was like beyond just the dinosaurs. So important stuff is going to be coming out today, and I'm excited to share it with you. But yeah, this is, how I do science outreach nowadays, here on Twitch. I'm really lucky to be able to broadcast live to you from the field via satellite. There's the Starlink right there, and there's our solar battery setup. Yeah, so I'm glad you're here. Let me know if you've got any questions. Not just questions about dinosaurs, even though that's my research specialty, but questions about natural history, about the history of life on Earth, about the fossil record, about extinction and evolution, about the very philosophy of science in general. Any questions that you've got, I'm eager to answer them for you. This is the best way that I know of doing science outreach, and the better the questions we get, the better the stream it'll be. I'm glad you're here. And it looks nice and shady today. Asteria Marie, it's, yeah, we've got some decent cloud cover today, which is nice. It kind of comes and goes. It's sporadic, but we're lucky to have it. It's keeping the temperature down a little bit. It was supposed to be in the high 90s today. Doesn't feel like that. So we've been pretty lucky. And that's awesome, thing one of two. Well, tell Luigi hello for me, or I guess I can say it myself. Hello, Luigi. I hope you're having a good day. It's good to see you. Yeah. Anywho, good stuff. Cactus Jack says Pepsi or Coke? Same thing. They're literally the same. Little wind goes a long way on a hot day. It's true, Kamikuma. It's true. Anyway, good stuff. And Baby Yoda Force, how are you doing? Welcome to Paleontologizing. Again, I'm here at the Turtle Hill site. We've got a bunch of invertebrate fossils that were discovered earlier in the season right here. These are some of the things that we find at this site. Things like this ancient bivalve right here, this freshwater unionid clam. Got more of them up here. We've got these lovely snaily guys. Right there. We've got a whole bunch of fossil plants. Most of those have already been collected. We've got just a few still over here. Got to remember to grab a couple of these for Logan, actually. And then we're focusing on vertebrates today, though. There's going to be a few inverts that come out of this site as well, but it's mostly going to be fish bones, bits of turtle, stuff like that. And I'm going to be sitting down over there with Fisher, and we're going to be digging these up live. So it's going to be a pretty chill stream, I hope. As long as the wind doesn't keep blowing the camera over. Yeah. Did they find any more dinosaur bones at the other site? Not yet, Paleontologist VA, but we cleared some massive boulders, like maybe 1-ton boulders from the site this morning before Fisher and I came here. And they've got like 20 feet. So like 6 meters of horizontal space out there, maybe about 2 meters deep, 2 meters in width, 6 meters long, of new, like, fresh bone layer to dig through. And cross your fingers they start finding some more bones today. We really need to find the face of this ceratopsian dinosaur if we want to compare it to other ones that are known and be able to describe it all the better. So, yeah, cross your fingers. No brachiopods here, Spy. All bivalves so far. But we'll see. We'll see. And Okami Kuma says, is there no chance you stumble on some dinosaurs while looking for their food? No, we do have dinosaur bone from this site too. But this is really the wrong kind of depositional environment to preserve big dinosaur fossils in association. This is one of those sites where it's really good for really small critters. We're not expecting to find any big dinosaur elements here. But we do have dinosaur bone right over there. And you will see Crimson Carnotaurus when we happen upon this stuff. You'll get to witness firsthand what we do with it. So let me grab my water bottle here, and we'll go settle down with Fisher over there. Yeah. All right, so again, welcome everybody to Turtle Hill. And there's the Micro King himself, Fisher McDermott. Yeah. And we are hard at work finding some fossils here. So Fisher's been working in this upper layer. Do you want to explain any of that?
Yeah, so yesterday, if you were here for that, I showed off this fish bone called the Clythrum, just behind the gills. That's right underneath all of this loose sediment right now. So the main bone layer that's producing a lot of our really good microfossils is down here. And one of the big bones I found yesterday is going right underneath this big block of shale here. So to get down to that, I had to work through this upper layer throughout most of the morning. And in doing so, I found a lot of other really nice fossils that we have right behind us here.
Yeah, nice. Very cool. Should we take a look at some of these?
Sure.
Let me set this stuff down. But, Fisher, you've got like coal dust all over your face. I probably do too. Yeah, we got this layer of coal through here. It gets, yeah, pretty coaly.
Dirty work.
Yes, definitely.
So we've got a couple of different turtles here. So
yeah,
here,
very nice.
Still going, and then over here as well.
More turtle pieces. Look at that lovely texture. I don't know if that's bainid or what. I don't think it's trionychid texture. You can often tell what family of turtle it is just based on the texture of the shell. And I don't know my turtles well enough. Not anymore, at least. I used to know all these like the back of my hand. But it's been a long time since I've done anything with turtles.
We've got what looks to be either a scapula of a crocodile or a turtle, or potentially a big fish bone here.
Nice.
I'm leaning more towards scapula, but our friend Ethan thought it could definitely belong to this big fish Melvius that we're excavating here in this lower layer. But yeah, I'm thinking it's scapula mostly because of this little process here. The scapula has
it does look scapular, yeah.
Process.
That's the acromion there?
Yeah, I think so.
That would make sense, yeah.
And we're getting fish bones. There's a vert here.
Yeah, nice little centrum from the fish.
And then we've got this big tooth plate down here. It might be kind of hard to see, but you've got these little packets of these little round teeth for grinding up, hard-shelled invertebrates.
Yeah.
That we pulled out this morning.
I wonder who that would be. It's not going to be a bowfin. I don't think they have tooth plates like that.
No, they're going to have sharper, pointier teeth in the than something like this. This is definitely a more durophagous animal.
I wonder what that could be. It could be a sturgeon. What a sturgeon is. I think they mostly eat wormy little things on the river bottom.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know enough about my freshwater fishes of the Late Cretaceous, North America. But, yeah, anyway. It is, it's good that you're here, everybody. And I'm just going to set the camera down over there. And, yeah, we'll get to work. Cool. Thanks, Fish.
Of course.
All right, what's the best way to do this? I might set it up kind of a bird's eye view again, like this, if we can keep it from falling over. But it should be doable. Just kind of like this. And there we go. Set some rocks on top of it. Camera doesn't get any ideas about falling over. I'll put it a little bit closer to the edge, actually. I think that'll be best. Yeah, nice. Cool. That should do it. Excellent. So, All right, I'll turn the camera up a little bit. There we go, excellent. Yeah. And I'll put this over here. There you are, chat. Excellent. Good stuff. Get my tools ready. Brush, dental pick, and scoop. So these are the tools of the trade at a site like this. I use this for kind of prying open rock for more detailed stuff. We've got a dental pick. This is actually my first time ever really using a dental pick in the field. Normally I'm working on dinosaur sites, which are, you don't want to mess around with piddly little tools like this at a site where you're digging up dinosaurs, but this is much more precise work here. Yeah. Ugh. So we've got this really nice layer down here that's just all full of organic matter. And just carefully look through all of this. Oh, I got a fossil leaf in here. See those veins. Yeah, nice. Here, check that out, chat. There's little yellow roots on it. Those roots are modern, but the veins that you see there are from an ancient leaf. Pretty cool. First thing I pulled up. It's a good omen. We got some lovely cloud cover. Life is good. I'm probably not going to collect that. We've got plenty of other leaves from this site. You think it's worth collecting, Fisher? Probably not.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Okay.
We're going to need both the kind of the external texture of it as well as the tertiary and secondary veins.
Makes sense, yeah.
So leaf shape and then good venation is what you need for these, and we're just not going to get that if we're the way we're excavating here.
Yeah.
Although it is possible. I think I pulled up some nice Araucaria and ginkgo stuff the other day.
That's awesome. Love those gymnosperm plants.
It was definitely a lot harder work than
yeah.
Actually looking for the fossil.
Right, nothing in there. Yeah. And Ava 00, welcome to Paleontologizing. I actually work on spinosaurids. I'm going to be publishing a paper on their feeding ecology, hopefully very soon. I was hoping to get that submitted before I left for the field, but it just didn't happen. There are too many other things going on. Too many other deadlines to meet. But I'm a spinosaurid researcher. I work on those critters. They are pretty neat. Yeah. And anyway, how's everybody doing in the chat today? I hope you're having a good one. Today is what, Sunday here in the States? Day of rest. And I don't know, it is almost kind of restful being here at Turtle Hill compared to doing overburden all day. But it's still its own kind of hard work. Yeah. And Carnotaurus says, what spinosaurs have you been working on? Spinosaurs in general as a family. So Baryonyx, Suchomimus, Irritator, Ichthyovenator. They all factor into the paper that I'm working on. I think pretty much the majority, if not all, of the spinosaurs that have been named up until a couple years ago feature in the paper. Yeah. And let's see. What's the weirdest thing I found digging in the dirt all the time? Asked Turbo 80. Weirdest thing I've ever found digging in the dirt. I don't know, like, it depends whether you think certain fossils are weird or not. I tend to think they're not weird, because that's what we're after. Although in the Hell Creek one time, I did find these big 50 caliber slugs from probably like a P-47 Thunderbolt from around World War II. Apparently they had an Army Air Corps base up there, and so they used to do, I don't know, I'd heard from several ranchers that they used to do target practice on some ranchers' cattle during World War II as like training missions. It's funny, they still talk about that to this day. You know, can't blame them, I suppose. But yeah, that was pretty weird. Found an old like fur trapper's like iron fox trap or something, and picked that up so nobody got caught on it. But that must have been from like maybe the 1890s or something like that. Yeah. And what do you mean he's actually working? A really dull gamer. I work every day. Sometimes I take a break from the work in order to stream to you. So show a little respect. But it's just me and Fisher at this site today, and rather than walking around like I did yesterday during the stream, I'm actually down like in the proper layer for this, and so I might as well get to work and find some stuff. But this is very fiddly work. These things are extremely small that we're after. So if I go quiet for a while, please understand. And Fisher, if I'm annoying you by yammering on and on, let me know, or feel free to interrupt at any point you'd like to as well.
Looks like we have a bit of a Melvius vert sticking out here.
Ooh.
Right
Fisher's got a fish vert over there.
Right on the boundary between the shale layer and the upper bone bed.
Alright. Nice. That layer's turning out to be a lot richer than you were imagining, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Anticipating?
kind of a blessing and a curse because...
Because you're trying to get down through
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
No,
In order to get that Clythrum out.
Yep, and the matrix here is pretty tough, so I'm using a pretty large pick on this, which, you know, has potential to do a lot of damage, but luckily the separation up here is quite good.
Excellent.
So if you peel up a layer, not a lot of bone comes up with it, and you get a nice view of the fossil underneath.
Beautiful. I'll move this for now. This is what we use for wrapping some of the smaller fossils. Yeah. And really dull gamer. I know. And Crimson Carnotaurus says, even when you get back to camp after your streams, do you still have a lot of work to do? Oftentimes, yeah. Yeah. It's pretty much go from the time I wake up until the time I go to sleep most days. We do sit around the campfire around dinner time. But there's always things that you could be getting done. You know, hauling water up the big hill from the truck. I did some of that yesterday and this morning. You know, labeling things, putting away food, trying to rodent-proof the kitchen area, getting gear together for the next day, trying to remember all the things that we wish we had the prior day. Like, we need, what, some acetone for the site?
Yeah, likely.
So we gotta remember to get that tonight, that kind of thing. I like to bring books out here. I like to read in the field. You know, your attention span kind of grows while you're doing field work, just because there's not a lot of distractions, not a lot of screens, not a lot of other things demanding your attention. So it's easy to focus on books sometimes. I haven't had hardly any time to read at all, because it's just been go. Haven't had a single day off yet since we got here at the beginning of the month. Before the beginning of the month. It was like, what, May 29th, May 30th? I think we started out here.
No, I wasn't here yet then, so you know better than me. But yeah, I think it was around the 30th or 31st that the field season started. So
yeah, lots of stuff to do. And we're out here for only a month, and we've got lots and lots and lots of fossils to collect. Yeah. And Spy says, what kind of fish bones have you found at this site? Any Xiphactinus? Xiphactinus, I think, is extinct by this point. We're a little bit after Xiphactinus in time. That's from like the Niobrara chalk. And
This is also marine. This
yeah.
is a lacustrine or lake environment.
Yep. Yeah, so this is freshwater here, like Fisher just said. But the main fish that we're getting here seems to be Melvius. Melvius. It's a kind of big old bowfin fish. Very similar to like your genus Amia bowfins of today. But this one's big, like maybe up to 10 feet long. Who knows? We might actually have the biggest one ever found here. So we're finding lots of bits and pieces of it. So I found what seems to be part of its jaw earlier with these big alveoli in it, big tooth sockets. And that was pretty cool. Here, I could show you a picture. Chat. There we go. Yeah, kind of see the tooth sockets in there, I hope. Yeah. Big fish, big teeth. It's a cool critter. And Urban Mank says, if I had to lie on the floor all day, I would take a mat and a pillow. Yeah, we don't really have any spare pillows. Fisher does have a bit of a yoga mat that was cut up for his use over there. But
It is currently buried. It's protecting the fish bones on the lower layer.
So you've sacrificed it for the time being.
Excavate.
But yeah, I've not been at this site very long, so you know I'm here for a short time, not a good time. So no comfort items for me. Must be hard on your neck and shoulder. You get used to it, really, dull gamer. At least I do. I've been doing field work since 2011. Every summer, digging fossils, except 2020 during COVID. So, I don't know. I'm used to it. And Melvius is Hell Creek too. Exactly, Paleontologist VA. Yeah. Hell Creek, I think, was it Rio Alamo Formation? There's a number of other formations down in the San Juan Basin that have also got Melvius.
I think it's the Fruitland Kirtland.
Fruitland Kirkland? Okay. Fruitland Kirtland,
Yeah.
not Kirkland.
Not Kirtland, yeah. I think that has the same species that we're digging here.
Nice.
Up north you have Melvius thomsoni, and in the south it's Melvius cheliotis. Our hypothesis is that we've got cheliotis here.
Because it's bigger?
Yeah.
Nice.
The only distinguishing feature between the two that's officially been reported is sculpturing on some of the skull bones.
Huh.
And it seems to be kind of an inconsistent character.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Well, hopefully the elements we get out of here will help make sense of all that. Get some more diagnostic characters. Chat, can you hear Fisher when he talks? I hope so. Yeah. What's that in there? So you see, I've got this kind of organic-y hash, like we call it. All kinds of different bits of different organisms in here. A lot of plant material, probably invertebrate pieces, just all kinds of crud like that. Crud, I mean wonderful, beautiful, important microfossil bits. But sometimes we get, we get a ton of charcoal in here, but sometimes we get bits of vertebrate animals as well, and that's kind of what we're most interested in here. Although inverts are also cool. Any invertebrate material that we find is also important.
Yeah, it seems like most of the invertebrate material is coming from the upper beds. So the clams that Danny showed you yesterday are a great example of that. And I've also found a couple of nice gastropods or snails in the upper layer.
I love those mollusks. And oh, Fisher's quiet, but you can hear him. Cool, Anita. Cool. Yeah. And Silly Cat, this is indeed Turtle Hill. We are kind of making it less and less of a hill every day, bit by bit, but you know, erosion would do the same thing anyway, so. A lot of just turning over bits of matrix like this until eventually you find something. So it takes a lot of persistence, a lot of patience, but this is kind of a relaxing site to work in a certain way. I like it. It's been fun. Thank you, Fisher, for having me here.
Of course. You're doing an excellent job.
Thank you, Fisher. That means a lot to me. I was nervous, you know, after all this dinosaur excavation, that I would be too brute force for such a delicate site as this. So far I haven't chundered anything too badly. Did you get that term from Don?
Chundered?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think I ever used it before I met Don DeBlue, but he likes to say that.
He also says crawdadded.
Yeah.
I've been less keen to adopt as a term.
Yeah, it seems a little too specific, a little too taxon specific. Yeah. And Danny the Hulk. Yeah, Fitzari. You should have seen us this morning moving these giant, like maybe close to 1 ton boulders out of the Ceratopsian quarry. That was a good deal of work. It took a lot of teamwork. Using shovel handles to kind of pry underneath these boulders and then stack rocks under them and then just push them over with brute force, get them to go down the hill. It was a lot. Very different from this kind of work here. Still moving rock, but you know, bit by little bit. I'm curious what it was you saw on the spot you were on right now. So this site is called Turtle Hill, and there's all kinds of cool small vertebrate remains from here. So lots of fish pieces, lots of turtle bits, lots of remains of invertebrates, and plants and all kinds of stuff. So we've had, I don't know how many hundreds of different elements have been collected from this site so far. Different fossil elements, you know, bones, teeth, scales, etc. And so we're digging in and finding more. Found a bunch this morning, and we've been working here for a few minutes after starting the stream, but just you wait, we'll find some more. Fisher's already got some stuff over there. I'd show you, but I don't really want to move the camera, because that'd be kind of an ordeal at the moment. When he finds something really good, I'll pick up the camera and I'll show you. And when the sun gets bright, I can't see the chat at all. Dark screen. Has there ever been a dinosaur eating turtle? Soak films. I'm sure, yeah. There are turtles that probably eat birds. Birds are dinosaurs. I'm talking about modern turtles. Dinosaurs weren't all gigantic during the Mesozoic era. You know, they hatch out of little eggs, so I'm sure there are turtles that would have chomped on baby dinosaurs at some point. Mesozoic was a long time. So, lots of opportunities. Yamina says, how old are they? Fisher and I are both 21 and single. No. Really Dull Gamer says, what did you guys eat out there? Did you bring the grill? And then is that I don't know what emote that is. Yeah, we do have a propane stove back in camp. Fisher is a newly minted vegetarian.
That is true.
Just like me. So we've been eating a lot of veggie burgers. Just the two of us, while everybody else eats steak and pork chops and sheep heads and, you know, cow brains and etc. Yeah. Paleontologist VA says, Fisher reminds me of a microvert guy named Ben Kligman. I don't know who that is. But I presume that's a compliment. And those clouds were so nice. I hope they come back. Soak Film says, my 4-year-old daughter wants to know how long a Stegosaurus's plates were. Ooh, great question. So the biggest, like, bony plates of a stegosaur could be like maybe 2 or 3 feet long, but they would have been even longer when the animal was alive, because they would have been covered by a layer of keratin. So the Stegosaurus's longest plates on its back, they'd be about the ones over its hips, and they could be maybe like 4 to 4.5 feet long, something like that, maybe even longer. We don't know exactly how long the plates were when it was alive, but I figured that it'd be at least 1/3 as much, well, like 1/3 again, as long as the bony plates are, when they were covered by that layer of keratin. Yeah. And Zook says, so it's more the location as a whole, not a specific thing on the ground that you saw? Well, I mean, this site is called Turtle Hill. I think Logan found it back in 2021, probably? And so he found some turtle bits on the surface, and then after digging in, it just turns out to be this beautiful smorgasbord of different microvertebrate material. And so, yeah, like we can just kind of continuously mine this site and find more and more and more stuff. Like, we'll be able to work this site for years. Stegosaurus is your favorite Lunisaurus. It's a cool dinosaur, it really is. Largest and, well, possibly largest, and one of the weirdest of the Stegosaurs. Jody Fish says, so what is Fisher's favorite field recipe of yours? I've not done a lot of cooking this year. Did you like the quesadillas last year, Fisher?
I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. Check back with us in Utah. We'll get you an answer.
Quite fond of the veggie burgers, though. I think those are...
They are really good. We get the Impossible burgers out here, and those are top notch. That's the creme de la creme of veggie burgers. And Soak Films says, thanks. She loved hearing you answer your question. Excellent, Soak Films. Well, if she's got any other questions, let me know. Let me adjust this camera a little bit too. It's a little bit pointed down too far. That should be better. Nice. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Javasaurus, welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Welcome to Wyoming. There we go, that's the layer I want down there. It's got this root mat over it. details about what? Apple M3? Be more specific, I can answer your question. And Light Shadow, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Paleontologizing. It's good to have you here. Let me turn this a little bit. Whoa, uh-oh. It's gonna fall. Don't do that, camera. There we go. That's better. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Wyoming. Welcome to a real-life paleontological field expedition. Welcome to Paleontologizing here on Twitch. It's good to have you. This is good. This is the layer that I want under here. Start finding some stuff, I hope. Yeah. Holy cow, we've got 791 people watching right now. This is phenomenal. Welcome to Paleontologizing, everybody, and if you've got any questions at all, do not hesitate to ask. That's what these streams are all about. Trying to bring science to the people. Relative and Casper. Oh, cool, Rockophile. Nice. Yeah. Wyoming is it's a neat state. Lots and lots of wonderful fossils here. Wyoming has a really, really important part in... It's played an extremely important part in the history of American vertebrate paleontology. Light Shadow says, what kind of dinosaur did you find? We've got multiple dinosaurs at multiple sites here. But this is not really a dinosaur site that we're working. This is what we call a microvertebrate site. So there's all kinds of other critters that lived alongside the dinosaurs. We're here in the Late Cretaceous almond formation of Wyoming. So digging in rocks about 73 million years old. And at this time, you had a lot of different dinosaurs, but you also had, living with them, turtles, crocodiles, lizards, little mammals, presumably birds and pterosaurs, although we haven't found any of them yet. They're very rare, hard to find. And invertebrates, tons and tons of plants, and a lot of that sort of stuff we find here at Turtle Hill. So this is a wonderful site for kind of filling in the rest of the environment that's not just the dinosaurs. If you want to know what are the other critters that shared this environment with dinosaurs, this is a wonderful site to kind of fill in those gaps. So we're finding bones of different fishes, we're finding scales and teeth from fishes, we're finding different shell pieces of turtles, and we're finding lots of plants and invertebrates, you know, bivalves like clams, gastropods like snails, all kinds of stuff. So Turtle Hill gives us kind of a more complete picture of what this ancient ecosystem was like, and the different critters that coexisted with the dinosaurs here. And I'm getting some coal in here. Yeah, so take a look at this. Shiny stuff. So this is the carbonized remains of some ancient plants right here. See that coal? Yeah. So that indicates this is kind of a swampy environment. Look, there's a beautiful shiny piece of coal right there. Yeah, so there was a bunch of decaying plant matter here at the time, got buried. Yeah. And... oh, Bex Person, thank you Jody Fish for reposting that. Bex Person wants to know, do you ever accidentally step on something and then realize it's valuable? Oh, like a pair of sunglasses? Yeah. It's happened to me multiple times in the field. I don't know if I've ever stepped on an important fossil, not that I can remember. We try and be very careful about that. I'm sure I have stepped on things and I just didn't remember because they didn't break. But yeah, it happens. Gotta be careful out here in the field. You often can't undo something like that. And he says, how do you know it was decaying as opposed to just being burned wood? Because it really doesn't look like charcoal. Charcoal has got kind of a chalkier texture to it. It's more like kind of dusty. This stuff is shiny in a way that coal often is. If it's from burned plant matter, it's usually not shiny like that. And Bex Person, you bet. Thanks for the question. Lily to you says, I'm curious how you started on Twitch. I think what you're doing is awesome. Thank you. So my background is in paleontology. And back in 2020, I was teaching full-time. Doing like an outdoor ed thing, teaching kids about science. And then COVID hit. And so I had to start teaching remotely. So got myself a webcam and a microphone and all that stuff. And at the same time, I met a friend, Ios here on Twitch. She works at Twitch. And I'd never really heard of I guess I'd heard of the platform before, but I wasn't familiar with it at all whatsoever. And so, yeah, she showed me around and I'm like, this is really cool. Is anybody doing science outreach here on Twitch? And she said, no, not that I know of. And I said, okay, I'll try it. And she's like, oh, okay, sure, you're going to try it. And then I did. She was kind of surprised. And it really took off. So for the next year, I was doing paleontology outreach live streams from my office back in the San Francisco Bay Area. Doing that and teaching full-time. I did that for a year and a half before the channel took off to the point where I could quit the teaching job and just do this full-time, and it has been incredible. And then for the past, I guess, 3 summers, including this one, I've been broadcasting live from the field, doing streams from Dinosaur Digs, and that's been kind of a dream come true. And here we are. It's only really possible because of the generosity and the support of this community, who also helped to fund this dig. Roughly half of our funding for this has come direct from this Twitch community here, which is pretty incredible. Yeah. Okay, Go Myrtle says, will you all say happy birthday to my friend Becca for me? Happy birthday, Becca. I hope you have a good birthday. Hope your next trip around the sun is your best yet. And Zook says, do you ever come across evidence of early man, or is that just not in the places you dig? I mean, we do, but it's usually in camp, and that's usually because none of us have showered for a good while. Fisher last night around the campfire just banging these rocks together going, oh, oh, oh. No, if you're talking about fossil evidence, no. These rocks are way too old for that. What would you say the earliest hominid fossils would date to, Fisher?
Probably sometime in the early Pliocene.
So like 5 million years ago, something like that? Yeah. So these rocks are 73 million years old. These are actually really young for dinosaur-bearing rocks. The first dinosaurs evolved around 235 million years ago. So 73 million years ago, this is like toward the very end of the age of dinosaurs. But it would still be another like 70 million years basically until you get the first like recognizable hominids. So yeah, these rocks are way too old for the ancestors of humanity, or for the immediate ancestors of humanity. Mammals were around at this time, but they all looked like little shrews and gerbils and stuff for the most part during the Mesozoic. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Fisher's over there cringing, being like, no, there were gliding mammals, there were platypus-like mammals, but they all kind of looked like shrews.
Any of them did.
Many of them did, yes.
There are a few asterisks that can be applied to your statement, but
Thank you.
it is generally true. They're mostly generalized.
Yeah. It does kind of irk me sometimes when mammal people say, like, oh, there was a remarkable diversity of mammals during the Mesozoic. It's like, not compared to today. Yeah, I guess maybe compared to just, rats, or rat morphotype. I know there weren't actual rats during the Mesozoic, obviously. Rodents first appear in what, like the...
Paleocene, early Eocene.
Really? Paleocene, maybe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably more like the early Eocene, but...
I was going to say like a Oligocene, but...
No, we get rodents in the Eocene.
Huh. Well, maybe they're who drove the multituberculates into extinction.
It's possible, yeah.
Maybe it was murder instead of just environmental change. Maybe the rodents outcompeted them. And Dan R2 says, hi Danny, thank you for streaming this great stuff. Thank you for your kind words. How do you know how old the layers of rocks are? So in this particular case, I don't know if we have any hard dates for the almond formation yet, but we do have dates for the rocks that are above and below it, to at least to a certain extent. And so we can kind of relative date them. We know that the rocks above are like less than 70 million years old. We know the rocks below are more than 74 million years old. And so we have these pegged at around 73 million years. But we will, hopefully this year, actually have a radiometric date for these. To be able to put a hard number on it. And we can do that by looking at radioactive isotopes in like ash layers that we find. So when volcanoes erupted, there are radioactive isotopes in the volcanic ash. So that ash gets deposited in these layers. You can take samples from that and then look at how long that radioactive isotope has been decaying, and you know how long ago it was laid down. I'm kind of grossly oversimplifying here. An hour talking. Yeah. Radioactive isotopes. That's the... there. Yeah. And oops, all shrews, says Converter. Yeah, that's the Mesozoic for you. Alright, I'm not finding much. I'm working a lot more slowly than I was this morning. I keep answering these questions. And there you go, Dinosaur Dave, yeah. I know, well, I mean, shoot, just down the road from here you get lots and lots of cool mammal fossils in Wyoming that are a lot bigger and more common than the mammals from the Cretaceous. And are we hitting that grayish layer you mentioned yesterday, Grand Bridget? Yeah, I'm actually going through that today. So this kind of like brownish layer up here, I've not cut through that yet, but this is the good stuff underneath here, where we're getting interesting things. So, it's a little too rough. But, you know, it kind of comes in spurts. There's like, sometimes you'll find nothing, 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 and then suddenly there's just like a nice accumulation of good specimens. So I think right now we're in the nothing, nothing, nothing part. Yeah. And you're welcome, Dan R2. Thanks for the question. Yeah.
That's a massive Melvius for it just popped out.
Ooh, heck yes. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful. Shoot, so this might not look like too much chat, but I promise you it's very cool. This is enormous fissure. That's huge. For a fish vertebra?
Yeah.
So right here, what you're looking at is the end-on view of a centrum. So think about like the side of a hockey puck. That's basically what this is right here. See how it's kind of smooth right there? That is the end of a Melvius vertebra, or like maybe the ventral side of it, I would guess.
Yeah, probably.
So like the underside. So yeah, that is enormous. This is a big, big, big fish. Holy cow. Wow, Fisher, that's nuts. Good find. Shoot.
That's one of the larger ones we found so far.
That's awesome. So this fish might have been, 9 feet long, maybe longer. Predatory fish too. Big nasty teeth on it. It's a cool critter. And Fisher's going to be presenting on this critter at the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology meeting this fall in Minneapolis. So, yeah, if you're in the paleontological community, come see Fisher, come see the poster. And I'll be stopping by too. I'll be helping design this poster too with any luck. If I have time. Well, that's cool that we knew we had enough Melvius material just from last year to be like, yeah, we want to present on this. Yeah. And Fisher living up to his name, says Fitzowry. Fisher got a fish. Yep. Yep. And Dr. Terra says, what's the biggest soft-shelled turtle that you all have found? Or biggest one documented? Yeah, trionychids are soft-shelled turtles. They get pretty darn big. I've worked on some in Berkeley. I've never really found a very big one, but I've worked on fossil ones in the collections at Berkeley, which were pretty darn large. We're getting all this nasty root stuff in here. So, see this like fuzzy, yellowy stuff? That's not fossil, that's modern root from this like sagebrush and stuff. They have these really long, extensive root systems in order to be able to get moisture out of the ground and survive out here. And so, these ancient layers are just shot through with these modern roots from these plants, just trying to make a living out here in that dry, high desert. And what's the elevation of the dig site? We're like 7,000 feet here, DNR2, like 2,200 meters, something like that. It's high elevation over here. Ugh. Which reminds me, I gotta reapply some lip balm before I forget. Some SPF and some moisture protection on there. That's better. And have Fisher banging rocks together on the poster. We'll see. Is it okay if I tell them about Oreopithecus?
Of course, go ahead.
Yeah, Fisher does this character that he calls Oreopithecus, often while eating Oreos. But can you make an Oreopithecus noise for us?
It's a real taxon.
Wait, is it really?
Yes. The mountain ape.
Is it Oropithecus or Oreopithecus?
Oreopithecus, like Oreodon.
Oh, right. I was thinking like Orodromius, the mountain runner. Little Theslasaur dinosaur. But Oreopithecus is a real... Somebody pull up that link in the chat, Oreopithecus.
I believe it's from Italy, Miocene.
Really? Shoot, early. And here I thought you were just like making a pun on like...
No, it wouldn't be nearly as funny if it wasn't a real taxon.
I guess it's even funnier now. Excellent. And Jody Fish says Miocene. Really? Huh. And have you considered gardeners, kneeling mats, and do you take donations? Asks script variable. I don't know. I'm here for a short time, not a good time. I don't really need any comfort-enhancing implements like that. Don't want to go soft, But if I were here all summer, I would definitely get some stuff to lay on or kneel on. I actually have a big, beautiful gardening knee pad in camp in my tent. But I didn't think to bring it out here. It's not a problem. I know all of you watching from the comfort of your air-conditioned gaming chairs, you know, with Mountain Dew gamer fuel IVs and everything. You're probably looking at this and going like, oh my goodness, it looks incredibly uncomfortable, but you know, it's fieldwork, you get used to it. And thank you, Zook, for the gift subs. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Excellent. Yeah. Thanks for supporting the channel and helping keep me out here in the field. This is how I pay my bills. This is actually my full-time job, believe it or not, is doing science outreach on Twitch. And the only reason I can be out here doing field work is because of you wonderful people and your support, so thank you for that. Yeah. Now, Really Dull Gamer says, how old are you again? 21. And single, like all successful Twitch streamers, you know? No, I'm really not. But, we'll say I am. Yeah, 21 years old, and I've been digging fossils. It's my 13th summer in the field digging fossils. Been digging fossils since 2021. No, excuse me, 2011. Clearly, I'm not a mathematician. Paleontologist. Yeah. And thank you, Amish Andy. I appreciate that. How are you doing? It's good to have you here. Thanks for saying hello. And do any paleontologists wash the fossils first like a raccoon? Asked Freelancer. Yes, actually. Maybe not quite like a raccoon, but screen washing is a really common practice with microvertebrate fossils like these. We're digging in a mudstone, so screen washing wouldn't really work for this, but if we were digging in a sand, then yeah. So I helped out with this in 2014 in the Hell Creek when I was with Greg Wilson's crew, where his students there were after Hell Creek mammals. And so what they would do is just find a site where you've got lots and lots of like microvertebrates on the surface, little frog bones and salamander vertebrae and fish scales and turtle teeth. No, not really turtle teeth, but you know. And what they would do is just take big shovelfuls of this stuff, like the matrix, the surrounding rock with these microfossils in it. They'd shovel it into these bags and they'd bring it back to camp. And we were camped along the banks of Fort Peck Reservoir in eastern Montana. And so every evening, after driving like several hundred miles that day, his poor students, you know, would get to briefly eat dinner, and then they would have to go screen wash. So there were these big screen boxes, like a big wooden box with a metal mesh on the bottom of it. And so you just shovel this stuff into the screen boxes, and then you walk it out into the lake. You kind of go back and forth with it like that in the water, and that hopefully dissolves most of the sand. So you're just left with little pebbles and bits of crud and microfossils. And so that's the typical way that you you get a lot of material in the field and bring it back to the laboratory. You screen wash it like that. So it's not quite washing it like a raccoon, but you know, maybe something close. And they got dinner, the luxury. I know, right, Javasaurus? Although I won't tell you about how bad the food was that year. Yeah, because that would be throwing shade unnecessarily. So I won't say that at all. And yeah. And Game Over's got a question. Is there one book that you feel encompasses paleontology, or books by certain people, universities, like Princeton Field Guides? Something in depth. I know it's hard to choose just one. Game Over. Yeah, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for like a comprehensive like encyclopedia about dinosaurs, you can't get much better than Thomas Holtz's, I think, 2007 book, Dinosaurs: The Most Complete, Up-to-Date Guide for People of All Ages, or something like that. It's a green book. Holtz is the author. It's a little out of date at this point, but it's really good. Still holds up in a lot of ways. If you're looking for more of a book to read cover to cover, I'd really recommend the writings of Michael Novacek. He's mostly a mammal paleontologist. I think he might still be curator of paleontology at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. But his kind of fieldwork autobiography from like 2002, I think, called Time Traveler. It's Time Traveler in Search of Dinosaurs and Ancient Mammals from Montana to Mongolia by Michael Novacek. Novacek. That's an excellent, excellent book. If you want to know what it's like to be a paleontologist, start there. It's phenomenal. Really excellent. Yeah. And Zook says, Fort Peck, I see an army of chickens camped there. Don't say that about the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They're the ones who administer Fort Peck Lake and the surrounding area. Yeah. Good stuff. And Atnos says, why are you just laying around? I got hit by a tank shell earlier and I'm waiting for a medic. No, we're working at a microsite, and so this is how you work a microsite. Or this is one of the ways you work a microsite, I guess, if you're not just going to shovel material into a bag and then take it back to camp. But just got to get your face close to the rock, and you're looking for anything of interest. Any little bits of turtle or fish or crocodile, invertebrate or whatever else. And this paper towel is starting to distract me. Calm down, paper towel. Stop. Don't be so frantic, paper towel. There we go. That's better. Yeah. And Brufos, so this is a well-known site to us. We've been working this for years. It's called Turtle Hill, and there's all kinds of really important and interesting small animal and even plant remains from this site. So we're looking for the small stuff today. And so got to get your nose close to the dirt. Ooh, what have we here? Looks like turtle. Could be fish, but I think that's turtle there. I need some glue. Thin glue, yes. Let's glue her up before she falls apart. That looks like a piece of turtle plastron there. So I'll show this to you in a minute, chat. Right now I just got to stabilize it, make sure it doesn't fall apart. This just kind of popped out. So what I'm doing is applying this polyvinyl acetate glue, PVA glue. It's basically like a plastic compound that's dissolved in acetone. Acetone is like nail polish remover. And so this is how we stabilize the fossils in the field. These things have been under the ground for 73 million years. You get them on the surface and they immediately start to fall apart, usually. And so by doing this, using this kind of penetrating glue, the glue seeps down into the bone itself, into the very core of it, and then it kind of hardens it from the inside out. Yeah. And acetone solves everything. I mean, that's what makes this reversible, which is really, really important. And Brufo says, I guess what I was going for was why that specific spot on the site? Why not dig 10 feet north of there? Well, because 10 feet north of here would be, well, it's not the right layer. There's nothing there. So you just kind of follow the layer where it goes. Yeah. Field paleontology is a very go with the flow kind of a field, I guess, or kind of a discipline. You go where the fossils are. You can't tell them where to be. They are where they are. Yeah. Oh, and Bowser Jim, that's wonderful that you saw that. Bowser Jim says, a while back I had read your article where you were quoted about that Pachycephalosaurus skull you found. I didn't actually find that one. I was just quoted in it. But yeah, I don't think that's actually been officially published yet. That was for SVP back in like 2018 or something like that. Yeah. That might have been Albuquerque? I forget. But, yeah, it's not been published yet. One of these days I'll interview Kerry Woodruff, who did his PhD on Pachycephalosaurs. He's an old friend of mine. And I'll ask him about that. But there is a good chance that Pachycephalosaurs were omnivorous. You know, we think of all ornithischian dinosaurs as being herbivores, plant eaters. But Pachycephalosaurs may be an exception because they've got teeth at the front of their mouth that sometimes look very much like theropod teeth, like meat-eating dinosaur teeth. And so they may have been partially carnivorous. Maybe they would eat meat sometimes. We don't really know. Maybe it's an ontogenetic thing too. We don't really have enough information yet to really say for certain. Yeah. And anyway, I'm flattered that you read that, Bowser Jim. That's cool. Big Mo says, is Africa least worked at in your field? No. I would argue that Australia probably has fewer dinosaur paleontologists working in it, and Antarctica certainly has even fewer than Australia. Africa is probably the third least explored continent for dinosaurs. Although maybe Africa's ahead of Europe, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of dinosaur fossils that are readily accessible in Europe, just because so much of everything there is underneath forests and parking lots and Tesco's and etc. Yeah. And Jody Fish, Pachycephalosaurs, found food eating. Yeah, that's certainly possible, Jody Fish. We don't know. Yeah. Possibly omnivorous, Fujoshi. Yeah, Pachycephalosaurs. We're still figuring that out. Yeah. And yeah. Even the dinosaurs need a Tesco. There you go, Andrew Memories. What's been my favorite dig over the years and why? Niffler wants to know. Good question. I don't know. You kind of never forget your first. And my first field season was in 2011 in the Hell Creek with the Museum of the Rockies crew. That was kind of the last big Museum of the Rockies field crew was in 2011. We dug up the Yoshi's trike Triceratops site and started at Cliffhanger and a few other sites, and that was pretty awesome. Had a big international crew, like 20 people on it. That's really when I learned how to dig up dinosaurs, and it was pretty awesome. Like it's a wonderful feeling when you're the youngest, least experienced person on a crew, or one of the youngest and least experienced, and then like everybody just takes you under their wing and you learn really fast. And yeah, there's something special about that. I think maybe especially for me, because in my family I was always the oldest child, so I was always used to the one having to be the most responsible and helping everybody else out. So to kind of have roles reversed and be kind of the new guy on the crew and like earn everybody's respect, that was pretty special, for sure. All right, this is secure enough. I think I can show you, chat. And I can show you, Fisher. Do you think this is fish or do you think this is turtle? Looking at it, it's actually awful thin to be turtle. Take a look at that.
That to me looks
Nice. Huge fish skull bone. I don't know what else it would be.
Yeah.
Could it be part of the operculum, maybe?
I could see that being an opercular, yeah.
At first, I thought this was like a rib or something like that in a turtle shell, but that does not look like turtle interior texture.
Do you know
and
where
it's
it popped out?
awful thin. Yeah, right here.
Okay. Do you know if there's any more going in?
I'm gonna check it out in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth brushing around because there's
For sure.
definitely some parts that are broken up, but it's relatively complete. So.
Yeah. I don't think those are ancient breaks though, so there might be more of it in there.
Do you have the back glued?
No, because it's just matrix, but I can certainly do that.
It's definitely worth gluing the back as well.
Great. Let me show it to the camera real quick, but there you go. That shiny beauty could be fish bone. Exciting stuff, and this would be a gigantic fish. Maybe more of our Melvius here. But this is the sort of thing that we're after at this site. This is actually really, really big for this site. Most of the stuff is teeny, teeny, tiny. So this is awesome. Yeah, that's what we're after here, chat. Excellent. Yeah.
Larger bones up in the upper layer.
Yeah, that's been really cool.
Holy crack. I got two just popped out now.
Oh, nice. What do you think they are?
One of them looks a little bit like a metatarsal, and the other one is too embedded in matrix for me to really say.
Huh.
But
Fish metatarsal? I guess Sarcopterygian fish.
oh yeah, I guess, a crocodile is technically a fish if you really think about it.
All vertebrates are. Alright, so I'm just putting glue on the back of this. I know it's all matrix back here, but this will soak into that and secure the whole thing. Get it nice and solid for its journey back to the laboratory, where it can be properly cleaned and studied. Nice, so we'll just let that set for a second. Yeah. Anyway, so I told you there was cool stuff in here, chat. Just gotta be patient. Yeah. I need a little bit more glue on there. So in just a minute, after this is dry, I'll be wrapping this up in some TP, toilet paper, aka what do people call it in Commonwealth countries? Loo roll.
And if you could photograph that before you get it put away.
Smart, thank you. I probably would have forgotten. So thank you, Fisher. And let me look for more of it in here too. While that's drying. Ah. Love the smell of Vinac in the morning. Smells like discovery. Apparently it's called bog roll. What? Okay. I'll be wrapping this up in some bog roll. That's weird. Does this look like plaster to you?
I think this might be like gypsum.
Oh, that's just really, really thick gypsum? I was going to say it's in situ. Oh, yeah. It keeps going in. It's a big gypsum layer. But, like, how could we have plaster in situ?
Well,
I guess stranger things have happened. But, no, this is definitely gypsum. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Brufos, there you go. Yeah. We've never had any sponsorship deals yet, but I wouldn't. I don't know. Oh yeah, there's more piece of it. Nice. Okay. Got a few more chunks, Fisher. Good. Get those glued up too. I wouldn't be opposed to getting a toilet paper company sponsorship if they just sent us a pallet of the stuff, but I don't know if they would want their product associated with, long dead dinosaurs and filthy scientists out in the field. Might be a bad look from a corporate perspective. Yeah. And Lainey, that would be really cool to get Jackery to sponsor us. Holy cow, that'd be cool. Yeah. And toilet paper and dinosaurs, it'd sell the kids, says Ghostly Lane. Yeah, and as we all know, children are the ones making the purchasing decisions when it comes to toilet paper. No, it'd be cool though to just like put a dinosaur on the package, and like, you know, a kid who's riding in the cart with mom or dad at the store. Mom and or dad, I want that one. I could see that happening. Yeah. And Bazzer Jim says, if there was T-Rex on my TP, I'd buy it. You don't? Why, you don't like Tyrannosaurs? That's what you get, T-Rex. Oh, we got more. Oh boy. That continues in there. Excellent. Oh, it's in situ. And what you really need is baby wipes sponsoring, since you can't shower out there. Rockin', that is a phenomenal idea, actually. Huh. I like that a lot. I'll have to think about that for next year. Ooh, how big is this thing gonna get? This guy's looking good. I'm not going to dare try and put these together and get them all out in one piece, because it's kind of too big. So I'm going to wrap them individually and then stick them together. Stick those two little packages together for when we collect it. Does that sound good, Fish?
That's good, yeah.
Nice. I really hope this is Melvius skull, because that would be awesome. Yeah.
I think it's very likely that is Melvius skull.
Yeah, nice.
Oh. It's based on the layer and the texture.
Yeah. It's funny, it doesn't have the same kind of like super fishy texture that I'm used to from the Hell Creek. I think when we find like sturgeon bone and stuff. But it's, you know, obviously a different clade than sturgeon. So we wouldn't expect it to be super similar. That's looking good. Oh, and thank you, Drake and Oakleaf. I did not take a picture of it. Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Oh. Forgot my phone's in here. Get on my earbuds. That'll work. Lovely. Nice. All right. Let's see about the rest of this in here. How did dinosaurs defend against bugs from annoying them? Says Andrew Memorex. I don't know. There's a book called What Bugged the Dinosaurs, which I have back in my library at home, and I've not read it yet. But it's all about insects and other critters like that during the Mesozoic, during the age of dinosaurs. Ones that may have parasitized vertebrate animals back then. And, yeah, I don't know. Just like big animals today, dinosaurs would have had bugs biting them. But I don't think we have a lot of evidence to really talk about how dinosaurs would have dealt with that. Alright, so that's still in situ. It's not more, is it? Ooh. Could be. Could be. And, Circle of Life, thank you for the raid. Welcome to Paleontologizing. It's good to have you here. We are digging up some Cretaceous critters right now. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. I'm here with microvertebrate fossil king Fisher McDermott over there, just off camera.
Hello.
And we are working at the site called Turtle Hill out here in Wyoming, collecting all of these small fossils from critters that shared their world with dinosaurs during the Late Cretaceous period. This is important stuff, and it is something I gotta concentrate on, so if I seem a little withdrawn from chat, please understand why. This is important stuff. These are probably bones of a bowfin right here. Big predatory fish, freshwater fish. Lived alongside the dinosaurs. The sucker would have been like 9 feet long, potentially, like almost 3 meters, give or take. This might be one of the biggest Melvius ever found. That's this particular genus. It's big. It's big. And how often are digs done on public versus private land? I don't actually have numbers on that converter. Thank you, Jody Fish, for reposting it. But most of our sites out here are on public land. on federal land, Bureau of Land Management land, BLM land. And so you got to get special permits in order to be able to do that. And you have to be able to demonstrate that your fossils will be going to a permanent repository, a federally recognized repository. So like, you know, a proper museum where those fossils will be held in the public trust for all time. So that's where these are headed, to a particular museum in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Cincinnati Museum Center will be the final resting place for these fossils. That sounds more morbid than it's supposed to. But, yeah. Their forever home, I'll put it that way. Which is kind of funny, because these have been in the ground for 73 million years. You would think this is their forever home, but nope, Cincinnati. Hopefully they'll be there for another 73 million years. I can't guarantee that, but they'll be there as long as there are people to look after them. Would every fossil we've ever found so far fit in the back of a pickup truck? Who's we, GCPU? Not all of the fossils that we found this summer and collected would fit in the back of a pickup truck. We'd probably need 5 pickup trucks by the end of the summer for all the dinosaurs and other critters we've pulled out of the ground so far just this month. There are literally millions of dinosaur fossils that have been discovered. Yeah, I don't know. People get this idea that dinosaur fossils are extremely rare. They're extremely common in certain places. You know, most places you get no dinosaur fossils at all, obviously, but certain areas, the ground is just littered with them. You might have just a jumble of dinosaur fossils a kilometer long in certain places. Like Dinosaur National Monument down in Utah, or there's similar places in China. There's a bone bed in Montana, the Camposaur bone bed, where it's thought that maybe like 10,000 Maiasaura all died in the same spot. And you could work that site for hundreds of years and probably not find all of them. Well, it's not really a shortage of dinosaur fossils in general. It's a shortage of people to dig them up and study them, and money to do that. That's our real limiting factor. Yeah. TRM Shadow says really important ones are rare. I disagree. I don't know. I've worked at a lot of really important dinosaur fossil sites. What's much more rare is the people to dig them up and the funding to do it. There's another site in Utah, the Crystal Geyser Quarry, full of Falcarius bones. This really cool theropod dinosaur, like an early therizinosaur. And there are literally millions of fossils there. And they're all extremely important. Like, there should be crews working there, you know, day and night, year round, but there's not the funding to be able to do that. Which is frustrating. It's like, you know, everybody loves dinosaurs until it's time to find money to dig them up, or especially to prep them or reposit them. Yeah. Alright, this seems like it stops right there. So what I'm going to do is glue the undersides and get that collected in the same little bundle there. And Dyken Mix says, what are you doing exactly? I'm digging up microvertebrate fossils at a site called Turtle Hill out here in Wyoming. Trying to figure out what this ancient environment was like, what other critters were living alongside the dinosaurs that we've been finding at other sites. And so this is the site to find turtles, crocodiles, bones of fish, scales of fish, teeth of fish, bits of invertebrates like clams and snails, and lots of plants. this site has the potential to give us a really clear picture of what this ancient environment was like and what are the other animals aside from dinosaurs living in this environment. What were the plants like? What was the climate like? What sort of environment was this 73 million years ago? Really important pieces of that puzzle are here at this site, and we are collecting them right now to be put back together in the laboratory. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and that's really cool, HM Doppelganger. University of Utah putting together a piece of turtle. He probably knows some people that I know, HM Doppelganger. That's awesome. I know a lot of people at the U. The U of U. And Alioth says paleontologists are not paid for looking for fossils like you're just doing. A lot of times fieldwork like this is unpaid. Yeah. Yeah, how does a paleontologist actually make a living? What's the paid job for a paleontologist? Here's the thing, is that there are a lot more good paleontologists in the world than there are good jobs for paleontologists. There's typically like 3 different ways that you make a living as a paleontologist. When your early career, usually, well, there are a lot of paleontologists, maybe the majority nowadays, work along with construction crews. So they do what we call paleo monitoring. So, yeah, as a construction crew is like excavating, digging in the ground, you might have a paleontologist on site just to monitor things and make sure that no important fossils are being destroyed. That's one way to make a living. It's kind of an early career thing, usually. And then the other 2 are like either you work in a museum or you work at a university, or sometimes both. As a professor, as a lecturer, or if you're lucky enough to get a museum job, maybe you're a museum scientist. So you're paid to curate fossils, you're paid to oversee collections and conduct research, that kind of thing. So Matt Lamanna, who's on our crew, big shot dinosaur paleontologist from Pittsburgh, he's the curator of dinosaurs at Pittsburgh's Carnegie Museum. And so he gets paid a salary, and he's taking some of his time to be out here and help us collect some of these dinosaurs and other critters. Yeah, but increasingly, jobs like that are kind of rare. So I don't know, I make my living on Twitch, believe it or not. This is what I do full time. I'm usually back home streaming from my office in the San Francisco Bay Area. But right now, I'm out in the field. And thanks to the generosity and support of this community, I was able to get myself like a solar array and a solar battery and a satellite dish. And so we're streaming to you live via satellite from the wilds of Wyoming. Alright, it looks like that's it for this. So let me wrap that up. Yeah. And from Wilco710, thank you, Jody Fish, for reposting. Can't recall where I heard this, but is it right that approximately 90% of all species on Earth history will never be known, sadly, due to the niche conditions of fossilization? Yeah, that's probably about true. Might be higher than that, honestly. It depends how you count it. Like, you know, how many species of fossil bacteria do we have? That's probably the most speciose group, is like bacteria, and they very rarely fossilize. So, yeah. I don't know, its percentage is probably much, much higher than that. It's probably like 99.9 repeating percent of all the species that ever lived were never fossilized, or at least will never be discovered, let alone studied. But I don't know, it's really hard to estimate something like that. Earth history is really, really long. There have been so many species that have evolved and gone extinct, and many have just evolved into other species too. And so it's really hard to answer a question like that, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah. Ellie Bunny says, one day new dinosaurs will be digging up human fossils. Yeah, maybe. if we as human beings continue to wreck our planet, maybe someday dinosaurs in the form of birds will take over again. And you'll have paleontologists who are descended from, I don't know, say ravens or magpies, digging up the remains of human civilizations of long past. Who knows? And your bet is on parrots, TRM shout out. Parrots, it's a good bet. I mean, they're adaptable, they're very sociable, they're very intelligent, they like manipulating objects. But how unpicky can they be about what they eat? How omnivorous are they? I think that might be a factor in whether or not parrots take over. Fisher, you got any thoughts on that? Like any bird or mammal groups that you think might take over after we're gone?
Well, I have a hard time believing the rodents won't,
The rodents won't?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Dawkins' answer, was rats. Yeah.
Cephalopods, maybe.
I don't see it for cephalopods, because they've got that, like, copper-based blood, I think. So they can't really breathe in... Like, they can barely breathe underwater. I don't think they'd be able to breathe, in outside of the water, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Undersea civilization of cephalopods.
Well, we're talking about civilization.
Yeah, they're too short-lived, also. Yeah.
I guess that's the problem with a lot of rodents, too. Maximum for like 5 years maximum.
What do you think the longest-lived rodent is?
Probably like...
Is it scale with size, like capybaras?
I would guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But yeah. Picture of the second fossil. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a particularly pretty looking one. It's not going to show up well in a picture. It's fun to speculate about stuff like this, like who will take over after we're gone, but it is just speculation after all. Wouldn't be surprised if Planet of the Apes comes true, says Peter Steves. I don't know. We've not been kind to apes. They might not be around much longer. Like, honestly, if I had to put money on either a Planet of the Apes scenario or Extinction of the Apes scenario, like, it's much more likely that apes just go completely extinct, except for humans. At the rate we're wrecking our planet right now. We did manage to just wipe out all the other hominid species. Or hominin species?
Yeah.
Yeah. So... yeah. It seems like humans and apes do not get along well, and apes usually get the short end of the stick. Oh, sorry, Spiral Walker. Don't mean to rain on anybody's ape parades here. And Cowardly Brave says, I've been told that one could taste test a mineral to figure out if it's a fossil or a rock or something. Yeah, there's kind of a... we don't do this in the field usually. It's like a trick that you show to visitors to the quarry or whatever. But if you take like a piece of dinosaur bone, if you've got like trabecular texture in it, like the spongy interior bone texture, you stick it to your tongue, it will stick. Not stick like like super glue, but you know, it'll like cling to your tongue. Whereas usually when you stick a rock on your tongue, it won't do that. But there's exceptions and stuff. What's much more common is for geologists, sedimentologists, and sometimes paleontologists to pick up a piece of rock like this, break off a little piece, and chew it in your teeth. And that kind of allows you to get a real tactile sense for like the grain size and the consistency of the rock. Is it a mudstone? Is it a siltstone? How grainy or fine is it? How smooth is it? That kind of thing. So I'll do a lot of that when I'm like taking a stratigraphic section. So like when you're measuring out, you know, like how high a particular site is in a given formation, and you want to like take stock of all the changes that are occurring in the rock at different layers, you do a lot of chewing on rock for that. And when I say rock, I mean like, you know, soft mudstone, sandstone, siltstone. I'm not talking about like ironstone. You're not going to chew that. It'll break your teeth. But yeah. So dentists secretly dislike paleontologists. I actually don't know, Frank-O-Matic. I've not been to a dentist in like, since like 2016. I gotta book an appointment for right when I get back home, beginning of July. It's been too long. I've got good teeth, but you know, good teeth only take you so far. You gotta really take good care of them too. Yeah. Almost 5 o'clock already, shoot. We've got like another hour of work, if that. Well, I mean, at the site. It's going to be a lot of work when I get back to camp, too. We might have to move part of the hadrosaur from the Lex site. We'll see how exhausted everyone is.
I'm trying to get this croc bone out before we can leave.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How much longer do you think you got for that?
A while. I mean, this matrix is so hard.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to just, like, hammer through this.
Yeah.
Willy-nilly.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help, aside from yawning, let me know. And how is the hadrosaur site doing, Danny and Anonymous? We've got 2 hadrosaur sites. One of them is finished. Got that done like a week or 2 ago. Was that before you got here, Fish?
Just after.
Just after you got here, okay. Right, yeah, the Dell site. So that's already all cleaned up. The site's closed. And then we've got another site that we'll have to come back to next year because we just don't have the manpower, or people power rather, to get everything out this year. But yeah, that's the one with the hadrosaur skin, preserved duck-billed dinosaur skin. There's still more pieces of that we need to carry back down to camp. So we'll be doing some of that over the next few days when we feel like we've got enough juice to do that. And parasociologist, what a great name. You want to know what's been your favorite moment on this site? Shoot, I don't know. It's a good question. I think maybe finding the little bits of fish bone this morning. That was pretty cool. It was like the first bone that I found at this site. And it's like, oh, the stuff is here. I'm doing this right. That was cool. Yeah. Yeah, this morning was really nice. I really enjoyed this morning. Yeah, I'm filthy, shoot. This shirt. All this coal dust. Definitely wearing a different shirt tomorrow. And fishbone in the middle of continent. Well, yeah, hustle trees. These are freshwater fish, but there was an ocean that ran through the middle of this continent 73 million years ago. In the late Cretaceous period, the Western Interior Seaway kind of cut North America in two. That's when this This spot, which is now like 7,000 feet elevation, it was at sea level back then. We know this from the fossils that we find. We know this from the geology. We know this from multiple lines of evidence. But where we're digging right now is once like an ancient swamp. Right there by the coastline. That's why we find all of this, you know, swamp stuff in it. Roots and charcoal and coal. You know, bowfin fish and possibly sturgeon. Bones of amphibians and freshwater clams and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah. And what is it you're hoping to dig up at the... Oh, Werewolf Cast. So this is not a dinosaur site. This is a microfossil site called Turtle Hill. And so a few minutes ago I found bits of a freshwater fish, and I'm hoping to find more of that in here. Big old bowfin. Fisher found an enormous vertebra from that bowfin a little while ago.
It's still out if you want to show it again.
Actually, yeah, I'll show it again. Thanks, fish. Nice. Yeah. Check this out. So imagine this is like a hockey puck. You're looking at the side of a hockey puck here. That's the vertebra of this fish. I think it's from genus Melvius, which is a kind of like giant bowfin fish that lived at this time. And so that vertebra is going to be like this big. This is a big fish. Sucker's probably like 9 feet long. Maybe one of the biggest ones ever found. Maybe the biggest, potentially. So we've been finding bits of this critter all over the place, just scattered throughout these different layers. Well, I guess this one's from that upper layer, so it's a different individual fish, but you know, same species, same genus. Pretty cool. Let's put that back. Thanks, fish. All right. And hey, Casey Snowart, how are you? Have you here? Yeah, I've been fishing. That's a big boy. Yeah, Link for real. Big fish for real. Oh, what do we have here? Saw a little glint there. We got some bone. Who are you? Almost looks limmy. Nice. What are you? Who are ya? Put some glue on there. Just to be safe. Let that soak in, let it dry. Yeah. Hey, Casey Snowart. Yeah, so we're at Turtle Hill again today, digging up these little critters. And I don't know what this is, but it looks interesting. Some kind of a limb bone, perhaps? There could be more rib. Let's see what you got here. Right here. Huh. Yeah. That's cool. What do you think, Fisher?
It's kind of hard to say at the moment.
I just uncovered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My immediate intuition says rib, but I'm not.
It would make sense for how long it is. I only saw the first part of it. I'm like, oh, it looks like limb, but no, it keeps going.
It's a little more curved than a lot of the ribs we get, though.
It looks like it might stop right there. Yep. Oh. No, does it continue over here?
Well, that doesn't look very ribby then at all.
No. Who are you? Interesting. Let me take my brush.
That's
weird.
Kind of an odd shape.
It is bizarre. It goes zzz, whoop. That's the sound it makes, Chad. It does kind of look limby now. There's the end of it. Let me hit this with some glue.
It almost looks like humeral in shape.
Kind of, yeah. It's got that like twist to it.
Yeah, kind of like that S shape.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Bizarre.
It's hard to say.
Well, it's cool, whatever it is. Huh.
I got something appendicular out just now.
Oh ho ho ho! That looks like a turtle. Could be a turtle scap.
Okay.
Maybe. Flattens up there. Could be humerus. I don't know. Turtles have weird humeri too. Could be.
Yeah, I can see humerus.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mind if I show the camera?
Of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nice.
Yeah, that's been my project for the past hour or so. Is trying
nice.
to get that out.
It's a big one. Could be croc too, but I'm guessing it's probably turtle. So there's the bone right there. This looks like the proximal end and distal end, or shoot, it's not proximal and distal for a scap. What is it? Remember Matt made a big stink about this the other day, but it looks turtley to me. Yeah, so end of the bone here. Get that like you can see it, chat. Yeah. Yeah, cool, Fisher. Wow. Yeah. Decent size.
I think that is the last of the upper bone layer fossils that I'm...
Oh, beautiful. So maybe you can get that Clythrum out?
Oh, not today.
Not today?
Definitely not enough time to
Okay.
get all the matrix moved.
Yeah.
I can at least work down towards
Nice.
hopefully do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a lot of work to get done today. I need to photograph and wrap everything I've collected so far.
Nice.
I need to finish up.
Oh, Dyson Dinosaur is in here right now. Awesome. Another dinosaur paleontologist on Twitch. It's Filippo Bertozzo. Welcome, welcome, Dyson Dinosaur. Good to have you here. Yeah, we'll be out here for the next week. Till next weekend. And we're at a site called Turtle Hill right now. And I've got a weird mystery bone here. I gotta figure out what this is. But this is like, this site represents kind of a beautiful sample platter for all these other critters that were living alongside our prized dinosaurs. So we've got turtle bones from here, probably crocodile bones. We've got fish teeth and scales and bones of big fishes like our Melvius, our big ol' bowfin, big predatory freshwater fish. And what could you be? Interesting, it like flattens out along the midsection of it. What are you? What are you? Tell me now! What in the world? Maybe it's like a weird fish skull bone or something? It doesn't look like a rib.
It doesn't look like any skull bone that I'm familiar with, but then again, I'm no expert.
I say skull bone because I'm like, there's got to be some wacky bone in a fish's skull that looks like this. I don't know. I don't know my fish cranial osteology well enough. For those osteichthyans.
Appendicular bones from really small little amphibians or something, so...
Huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's
That's so weird.
some sort of aquatic tetrapod.
Ah, what are you? How's the hadrosaur coming out? Oh, Dyson Dinosaur, we got the big one out already. That was like weeks ago. But we've got another one that we're still kind of working on, off and on, with preserved skin. And that one we'll probably have to get most of it out next year, because we just don't have the people power right now. We might even need a helicopter for that, because it's in kind of a bad spot, like a bad location. For hauling it down by hand. It's way too heavy. It's concreted in these giant, like, ironstone, super hard sandstone blocks. Oh, and we got a toofy toof. Hello there. Man, right at the edge here is where all the good stuff is. What is with that?
What kind of tooth do you think it is?
I don't know. Let's get some glue on her. Could be fish. Doesn't look like croc. It's awful broad, though. It could be another Melvius tooth.
Yeah, they're pretty common. And they get pretty large, so.
But that's exciting. My first tooth of the day.
Oh, wow, that broadens out, too. Wow.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
So weird.
Bizarre. Tell us your secrets, Bone. And we will pull them out of you. Huh. But yeah, look at that beautiful toothy tooth.
Yeah, that's Melvius.
Ah,
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that looks a lot like Melvius. I'd probably wait to take it out until it glue hardens more, though.
Yeah, I'll put a little bit more glue so it gets on the underside too.
I mean, luckily the teeth are very durable, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice Melvius crown.
Heck yes. All right, first tooth, chat. I'll show you in a minute when it's hardened up with the glue. Yeah. And could it maxillary? You mean could it be a maxillary tooth, Jody Fish? I don't know. This one's kind of short and stout. Yeah. And Legend 102T. So the glue that we use is reversible. It's a polyvinyl acetate glue, PVA. And so the whole point is that we use it in the field to harden up the fossils to keep them from just crumbling to dust. And then when you get it back to the laboratory, you can reverse the glue if you need to. All you have to do is hit it with some acetone and you redissolve the glue. So this is best practice. This is how it's done. Look at you. Ooh, boy. Gorgeous little tooth there. Ooh, making my hand all cold. I can feel the acetone evaporating. Beautiful. All right, let me show you, chat. It's small, but it's pretty. I don't have it totally clean yet, but there we go. Check that out. Fish tooth, 73 million years old. Genus Melvius, we think, from a bowfin fish. Lovely. Very nice.
Bring in the vial.
Yeah. Will it get its own vial or just another Melvius tooth in the vial?
It'll go back in the Melvius tooth vial.
Nice. There we go. Yeah.
The honors.
Thank you. Oh, it's a big one. Well, not as big as some of the others. But look at the other ones in there. Yeah. Very nice. There's some big ones. The huge ones, though, that the Cincy crew found. They were like this big.
Whoa.
That's what they said, at least. I saw one of them, and it was a little bit smaller than that. But, yeah, it's a big critter. That Melvius. She's a big lady, as Denver Fowler would say. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Crazy it's lasted 70 million years. That's fossils for you, I'm a crab. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Anyway, I'm glad we were able to find some of this on camera. I was kind of afraid that I'd be at the site just kind of, you know, grit tickling all day and not finding anything good to show you. But, no. All the good stuff is right here along the edge, it seems. I'll work over here. Oh, and we got a gar scale right here, too. Let's hit that with some glue. I'll show you. Help make it a little shinier too. It should stand out a bit better. And Fall Machine says, I'm starting to understand the need for a dental pick. This is my first time ever really using a dental pick in the field. I never quite worked a site like this before until the last couple days. It's, yeah, it's necessary at a site like this. I had to pick one up for my personal toolkit. Zook says, grit tickling. I'm going to use that, yeah. I think I got that term from Denver Fowler as well, my old crew chief. When he was expressing impatience with how slowly new people were working or how they didn't know how to dig properly with a shovel. Like they just kind of like scrape it over the surface. He called that grit tickling. Alright, we got that glue on that gar scale. Just letting it dry up now. Yeah. And Hugh says those layers look very clay-like. So they're not clay, these are various kinds of mudstone. Some of them are kind of silty, some of them are more friable. Yeah. And Okami Kuna, any vids online with Denver? Yeah, just search Denver Fowler Paleontologist, and you'll find him online. You might find some of his, like, you know, field season recaps. So he runs the Badlands Dinosaur Museum in Dickinson, North Dakota. And so after every field season, when they find incredible dinosaur fossils and other things, he does like it might be on Facebook Live. But he does like a broadcast just talking about what they found that summer and showing stuff off in the laboratory and, you know, giving credit to the field crew and everything. Denver's very good at that. And you can probably find those on YouTube. There we go, that's good enough. So this isn't the prettiest gar scale I've ever found. Far from it. Not even the prettiest one I found today. But check that out. So this is one of these triangular ganoid scales of a fish called a gar. And gar are still around. You can still find them in places like Louisiana and Alabama and up through the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. And they were very common during the Cretaceous. You find them all over the place. In this formation, well, more commonly in like the Hell Creek and Judith River formations, but we have found them here in the Almond as well. Like I just showed you. Yeah, so I'll go put this in the gar scales bag, and then I'll work on this guy. Some kind of weird limb bone. Gar scale bag over there?
Yeah.
Alright. Here, maybe I'll take this over and I'll show you some more. Yeah, gar are really cool fish. And they actually deserve the moniker living fossil because apparently they've been evolving extremely slowly over the past, what, like 80 million years? So they really are true living fossils. I didn't really used to believe in that term, but there's a new paper that just came out recently looking at their evolutionary rates. There's a beautiful gar scale right there. Take a look at that. Nice big one. And these fish get big too. They can get up to like 13 feet long today for like an alligator gar, the largest species, genus Atracosteus. They got big during the Cretaceous as well. So we've got a bunch of these in here. Oh, there's a really pretty one. Yeah, check that out right there. Nice and shiny. Yeah. I'll put mine in there too. Bleep. There we go. Yeah. Good stuff. And see gar down in Florida too. Neat, Mayor Space. They can get pretty big, absolutely. The world record is something like 13 feet long. like 4 meters. And aren't crocodiles also virtually unchanged? They've actually changed a lot more than gar have, Grand Bridget. So, a lot more. The crocodiles that we have today, within genus Crocodilus, that genus didn't exist during the Cretaceous period. Yeah, so that's kind of a newish group. I can't really say that we have crocodiles from the Cretaceous period, because that implies genus Crocodilus. So I say even crocodilians, the whole family, didn't really exist back then. I would have to say crocodiliforms or crocodilomorphs. Yeah, because they are different during the Cretaceous. Gar have changed a whole lot less than crocs have. Yeah. Curotarsi. No, so that's a much larger group, Tone Rebellion, Curotarsi. Yeah. I guess that would be like saying crocodilomorph. I don't know which clade is bigger, crocodilomorph or crocodiliformes. Any idea, Fisher?
I think it's probably Morpha is probably larger.
That would make sense. Yeah. Yeah.
At least I know that's the case for Mammalophorms versus Mammaloforms.
Oh.
I don't know if the same kind of naming convention works for other groups, but
how big is Mammalophorma? Does that include like Pelycosaurs?
No, Mammaliomorpha includes Tritylodons.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then Mammaliaforms is stuff like Morganocodons and Docodons.
Nice.
And then True
Okay.
Mammalia.
Cool.
So Mammaliomorpha is a little bit bigger. It's more Cynodonts than that group, not Mammalians, Cynodonts.
Yeah. All right. Some more glue. I'm also gluing some of the matrix around here too, just so it sticks together. It's such a long, spindly bone that I can't rely on the strength of the bone itself to keep itself intact. I gotta have the rock around it kind of harden up too. Here. And Chlorogets, no, Sarcosuchus is definitely in the Cretaceous, but a crocodiliform, yeah. So it's not a true crocodile. It's a member of a larger group. Crocodiles, I guess, they might be that might be like just genus Crocodilus. It's like your saltwater crocodile, your freshwater crocodile, Nile crocodile, and American crocodile. Maybe Cuban crocodile too. Might be the same as American crocodile. Orinoco crocodile.
Mugger crocodile.
Yeah. Although they might be alligatoriforms. I'm not sure. Alligatorids. I think caimans and alligators are part of a clade together.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Alligatorids. Muggers might be true crocodiles, I'm not sure.
I think they are.
Yeah?
But I'm not certain.
Yeah. And Prince Nitter says, what are my thoughts on ichthyosaurs? I am very much pro ichthyosaur. I like them. I think they're cool. I don't know. I don't study them, but they're really neat. And what type of lizard evolved into that species? So ichthyosaurs are more than one species. It's like this whole group, Ichthyosauria. There's actually multiple species within Ichthyosaurus itself. And then there's lots and lots of other genus of ichthyosaur too. And they didn't evolve from lizards. They actually predate lizards. So they evolved before lizards did. They're from a different group of reptiles. And I think it might still be kind of a mysterious group. But we know they didn't evolve from lizards.
Aren't they on the Lepidosaur side of the reptile family tree, though?
According to some people, I was talking with Takuya about this, and with Glenn Storrs, and I think they're thought to be lepidosaurs, which is like, today that just includes lizards and tuatara, and snakes, obviously. Snakes are a kind of lizard. But I'm not sure if it's well established that they are lepidosaurs, ichthyosaurs. Ooh, and is that a tiny, tiny tooth? Ooh, yes. I think it may be. Gotta get out the hand lens for this one. Oh. Let's see about this. Oh yeah, that's a tooth. Little Melvius tooth, maybe. Here, take a look, Fisher. I don't know if you actually need the hand lens.
No, I don't really. Yeah, that looks like Melvius as well.
Nice.
Yeah, that might be a palatal tooth or something.
Huh. Thank you. Here. So this is embedded in some glued together matrix here, chat, but maybe you can see it in there, right in the center. Another Melvius tooth. And I wonder if this will help at all. Probably not, but I'll try it. Yeah. Pretty cool, right? Excellent. Is this guy worth wrapping, or how will we collect this?
If you can like pick away the matrix around it, it can
I'm
go
kind of
well.
nervous about doing that.
Okay.
I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah. All right. I'd just glue the back of it then, and maybe we'll stick it in a bag or something.
I could chip away enough of the matrix that I could get it into a vial, maybe.
Yeah. I think it's possible.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
The teeth are pretty durable. I've never had one break on me.
Nice.
So.
And it did get glued.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll hit it with a little bit more, just in case. I see at least half of it got glued, not necessarily all of it. Stay there. Hand lens. Yeah. And, oh, did you get to see that? It helps a lot? Cool. All right, we'll have to use that hand lens some more. And Kiefer Boy says, do you ever find any mineral specimens? Sure. We've got minerals in here right now, like gypsum. They're annoying. We don't like them. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, I'll show you right now. Gypsum is like this white stuff. I mean, I guess everything in here is mineral, but there. Some gypsum crystals in there. This is not from the Cretaceous, this is recent. So, when groundwater seeps down into these rocks, minerals can precipitate out, and so you get stuff like gypsum in here. And, yeah, it can be kind of irritating. But, yeah. But we're not out here looking for geodes and stuff like that, or diamonds or what have you. The real treasure is the scientific information we can get out of these fossils. That's what we're after. Ooh, beautiful. There's our toothy tooth. Came out nice and clean, just like Fisher said. I should listen to that guy more often.
I believe there's a tiny lovely tooth.
Yeah, check that out. There's the better side. Yeah. Nice. You got a special vial just for tiny guys?
Even tinier than that one. That one's big enough to go in the regular vial.
Nice. All right. Hey, chalk it up. 2 Melvius teeth so far. Yeah. Nice. All right, I gotta get this guy out. I've got 1,003 people watching right now. This is awesome. If anybody's just joining us, welcome to Paleontologizing. Working out here in Wyoming, digging up fossils. My name's Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, and dinosaurs are mostly what we're digging up out here. But at this very special site called Turtle Hill, being overseen by microvertebrate fossil king Fisher McDarmid, right there off camera.
Hello.
We are digging up microvertebrates. So all the other little critters that lived alongside the dinosaurs and probably got annoyed by dinosaurs walking around and doing dinosaur things. So at this site we've got lots of remains of turtles, freshwater bony fishes, chondrichthyan fishes, so like cartilaginous fishes like rays and maybe even some freshwater sharks, I don't know. Stuff like that. Lots of invertebrates as well, so bivalves like clams, gastropods like snails, and we've got lots of plant material from this site too. So really, really important for being able to understand what this ancient ecosystem was like. Turtle Hill, it's an important site. It might not be as like attention-grabbing as the big dinosaur sites that we've been working, but this stuff, you could make an argument, is even more scientifically important. I might argue against you, but you know. And oh, thank you, Lily, to you for the Prime sub. Yeah, Bezos bucks. You're right. Thank you, Lily, to you. Appreciate it. And Pumpkin Cake says, how thick a dirt layer are these fossils located within? 2 inches? What would you say, Fisher?
It's
for
like
down here?
6 inches, or I think actually 6 centimeters above the coal layer.
Okay,
so
okay.
The coal layer is where the fossils end, and you've got the shale that's like almost a meter, maybe like a half meter.
Yeah.
It goes up.
So you think like maybe 6 inches or maybe less?
Yeah, I think actually we have the strat section in a little notebook.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
like,
We've got a little mini strat column.
yeah.
Nice. Oh, you don't have to get it.
Well, it might be fun to show viewers.
Actually, yeah, that would be really cool. Oh, I appreciate that. Is that what Cameron was working on?
Yes.
Nice. Good guy, that Cameron. Collections manager at the Cincinnati Museum Center. And, oh, lovely. Oh, that's beautiful. Excellent. Ooh. There we go. So, detailed notes on the stratigraphy at the site, at Turtle Hill. Check that out. So there is a drawing of the horizon there, or different horizons, I should say. Yeah. 1 centimeter, layers of compact organic muddy sand, mollusks, plants in the upper layer of our space. Let's see. Yeah, 6 centimeters above the coal. I guess it's about 20 centimeters thick. Is the like bone bearing layer down here. Cool, thanks, Fisher. Yeah. And that is good data, Ants, absolutely. Yeah. And Coastal 9 says, brings me back to geology mapping. Very cool. Awesome. Sounds like you're in the right place. Welcome back, or welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. Alright, I'm kind of trenching around this little guy here. Oh, and there we go. Excellent. What are you? What are you, bone? Ah, confusing. I bet you that is like a femur or something. I could try and find a femoral head on the other side, but I really don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, it's probably too
There.
risky.
Let me glue the other side and then I'll show you, chat. And that's not a maxilla jellyfish, no, definitely not. No, this is some kind of limb bone. Maxilla's going to have much different structure. It's going to have alveoli in it, so like tooth sockets. I don't think it could be a fish max. I could maybe see, if I stood on my head and squinted, it being a fish dennary, but I don't think that's the case either. It's got this weird twist to it. I'll show you in a minute. Let that glue soak in. Yeah. And you mean a lizard type thing? I don't know. Could be. Could be a lizard femur, potentially. But I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it's on the phone. Yeah. Bone, come with me if you want to live. There you go, Zook. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Let that harden a little bit more. Actually, put a little bit more glue in there.
We've got 45 minutes or so left, Danny.
Beautiful. So like 6:15 is our evac?
Yeah.
All right.
Around that time.
Yeah, and what kind of glue do we use? Chicken bacon Swiss. This is called PVA glue, polyvinyl acetate glue. So I think what we have here, the official name is B72, but it's very similar to like Bootvar or Vinac.
I think this actually is Bootvar.
This is Bootvar?
Yeah.
Oh, did the Cincy crew bring it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Bootvar, B-U-T-V-A-R. You can look it up. But it's basically like a plastic compound. And these little pellets, you dissolve it in acetone. Acetone is nail polish remover, or that's what nail polish remover is made out of, is acetone. And so the acetone, which is much, much thinner than water, like it dissolves the plastic and holds it within it, and then it seeps down into the bone, or in this case the matrix here, and then the acetone evaporates away and leaves the plastic on the inside. So you're kind of hardening the bone from the inside out. And it's fully reversible, which is awesome. So you can take it back to the laboratory and just put more acetone on it, and that will redissolve the plastic if you ever need to undo it. That kind of reversibility is extremely important when you're working with fossils. You want to make sure that everything you do, you can undo in case you mess something up. So we don't like to do anything that's super permanent if we can help it, because you never know when you might have to undo it. And Princeton and Nerdist says, what type of animal did mosasaurs evolve from? It was something similar to a monitor lizard. Yeah, so mosasaurs are a kind of squamate, so they evolved from lizards. They might share a common ancestor with monitor lizards, so their ancestor might be very closely related to monitors, or maybe it is a monitor lizard. There was an old idea that maybe mosasaurs evolved from some of the earliest snakes, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. And GCPU says half of what we know will be wrong 50 years from now. Yeah, half of the things that we kind of know. That's the cool thing about science, is that we're always learning new things. Old ideas are being overturned with new evidence. But it's generally like the stuff that we're kind of iffy about A lot of that turns out to get overturned later. The more fundamental stuff that, like, oh, you know, living things change over time, and, you know, birds evolved from dinosaurs. These are things that are pretty well set in stone at this point. It would take a tremendous amount of super unexpected evidence to overturn things like that, to the point where it's, like, almost impossible to imagine. Well, maybe the birds thing, I don't know. That seems pretty well established, though. We've got so much evidence that birds evolved from dinosaurs at this point, that I don't see that getting undone anytime soon. Or ever, really. Yeah. And Ruvian says, set in stone, I see what you did there. I wasn't trying to, sorry. The metaphors, they just happen. Anyway, here we go. This is that bone I've been working on. Yeah, see it right there? Like that? I don't know what that is. Looks like a limb bone, but I'm not gonna field prep it to figure it out, because I'll risk destroying it if I do that. So what I'm gonna do is take a picture and wrap her up. Oyster knife here for scale. It's so dusty I can't even see. Is it in focus? There we go. Nice. Yeah. Birds maybe derived turtles. That is extremely unlikely. All turtles would have had to lose their feathers entirely, and their wishbones, and all the other features that birds and dinosaurs share. Oh, yeah. I guess if you were to make an argument that birds did not evolve from dinosaurs, it would have to be that they share an extremely recent common ancestor. It would be like birds evolved from the same common ancestor that Eoraptor sprang from, or whatever. But they're very closely, very closely related to dinosaurs. That's why we say that they evolved from dinosaurs, is because that's absolutely what makes the most sense. Really the only thing that makes sense about that. Here, I'm gonna get these wrapped up first, and then grab apart mystery bone. Thanks, appreciate it. Nice. Let's wrap up this guy too. Well, let me label this one first so I don't get them mixed up. Got a sharp bait, thank you. Alright. And Melania Obama says, most telling reason birds evolved from dinosaurs is because short arms? No. Wishbones, feathers, avian respiratory system, the semilunate carpal, the list goes on and on and on and on. For a lot of feathered dinosaurs you'd see during the Cretaceous period, they'd be like indistinguishable from birds. You'd think like, that's a weird bird, and nope, it's a dinosaur. Related to birds, but not, actually a bird. almost everything that makes birds unique among modern animals. You know, feathers, wishbones, ankle bones, their semilunate carpal, the like hinge-like, or I don't know, the thing that allows them to like swivel their wrists, their respiratory system, everything else. Those are not actually like, you know, bird features. Those are just traits that are evolutionary hand-me-downs from their dinosaur ancestors. Dinosaurs evolved all of those things first. Birds just inherited them. So those features didn't used to be unique during the Mesozoic. It's just all the other critters that used to have those, the critters who originally developed them, are all now extinct. If that makes sense. All right. Excellent. Okay, skull, and then okay. Ugh, beautiful. Thanks, Fish. Of course. There we go. And I put the Sharpie back over there. Can you throw it to me? It should be to your right. By the bags. Thanks. All right. And, yeah. And Hustle Tree says Danny hasn't updated his LinkedIn since he was a student at MSU. Is that website still around? Shoot. Yeah, I guess not. Nathan Prydart says, congrats on all the good finds today. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. What's going on, Nick? How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Still streaming?
Yep.
Sweet. Hi, chat.
Yeah. Here comes Nick, everybody.
Need help wrapping?
I don't think so.
How's things going over at the Ceratopsian?
Good. It looks completely different. We got
Yeah?
everything down basically to the bone layer.
Nice.
Found nothing yet.
Nothing yet? Okay.
So.
You gotta find nothing before you find something, so.
Yeah. Good sign is that there's a lot of plant stuff. So.
Okay, interesting.
Usually higher contents of organic matter. High probability of it, possibly being bone.
Mm-hmm. This bag is like melted together. There we go.
You find
Nice.
anything over here? Looks like you did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Finding stuff left and right.
Lots of
that?
stuff up in the upper layer and a lot in the lower layer as well.
Sweet. Anything cool in particular?
Danny's got some really interesting bones. He got part of a tooth-bearing element, probably from Melvius. Got a really interesting appendicular looking bone that's kind of like S-shaped.
Yeah, it's weird. It's got like a curve to it. Found a. Did you say the tooth-bearing bone already?
Yeah.
The alveola, yeah. Bits of turtle shell, bits of gar. Actually, I haven't found any turtle shell in here yet.
I found
But
plenty of turtle shell in the upper layer.
Lots
Some
of-
it's actually still out.
what seem to be Melvius teeth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Danny, you got the tape over there?
Yep.
Thanks.
Good catch.
Yeah, this is all from the upper bone layer today.
2024. Turtle Hill.
Scapula.
It does.
Fish? No, probably not like a crocodile.
Yeah.
Tooth plate from some sort of large fish. We got turtle shell. We've got a big Melvius fur.
And thank you, Zook, for subscribing at Tier 3. Holy cow, do I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Holy moly. Zook says this is simply way too cool. Thank you for supporting science outreach here on Twitch. Really appreciate it. That means a great deal to me. And you'll get access to the coolest emotes with that Tier 3 sub. Including our Sinosauropteryx and the Rockhammer, too. It's an exclusive one for Tiers 2 and 3. Oh, and the big 4-part Paleo Lull. Yeah. Anyway, good stuff. Thank you, Zook. I appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, let's write 2024 on this bag, too. Lovely. Put those there. Here's the Sharpei.
Very much.
Sorry, I just threw it under a rock.
Under a fossil, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
right,
is
right, right.
the tooth plate.
Nice. Yeah. And howdy 817, howdy to you. Dinosaur dig indeed, yeah. We're not finding very many dinosaur elements here, but we are finding lots of other critters. Smaller critters that also inhabited the same environment. Probably lived in fear of dinosaurs, or maybe in annoyance of the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs walking around doing their dinosaur thing, and these guys are like, would you be quiet? We're trying to live our turtle lives here. Trying to sleep, exactly, Vic Vaughn, yeah. Yeah. And Tone Rebellion says, I wonder how often a Hadrosaurid or Ceratopsian just squished a turtle. It probably happened a lot if these dinosaurs were tramping around in that kind of environment. And if the turtles were too slow to get out of the way, you know. I'm sure it wasn't malicious most of the time. Just, you know, dinosaurs doing dinosaur things.
We all need help cleaning up again down here? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get some help with carrying the stuff. You can go check on your battery, and it should be at 100%. Last I checked before the stream, it was at 98.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
So.
Freaking awesome. Just shoot me. I'm so sorry. Today was really rough.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was just a lot of moving and stuff. But yeah, thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dino Roadkill says prankster fan. So there's actually a name for that, for like, it's called dinoturbation, like bioturbation, but for a dinosaur.
Actually, if you wanna,
Like churning up mud and stuff as it walks around.
Pieces of matrix that are up there.
So yeah, there were probably some turtles who lost their lives to dinoturbation at one point or another. Probably a lot of them.
There's a full one up there.
And Liber Khan says, was the movie 65 accurate? Ooh. No. I've got a horse in that fight.
Does it matter or just the new one? Just the new one.
Somebody find should be on the YouTube page, my 65 trailer that I recut to make it scientifically accurate. You should check that out. Yeah. You're on it? Thank you, Lenina. Excellent. Yeah. Crimson Carnotaurus says, isn't there footprints of sauropods from South America that are full of fossils of other animals? There probably are. You know, Matt Lamano would be the guy to ask about that. We can ask him later, maybe. Yeah.
Just up that stuff up there that's kind of on that bench.
Can I step here?
Yeah, this is safety stuff on.
And Ant621, it was 65 million years ago when you were a kid. You're very old, Ants. It's been a million years. No, I'm just kidding. No, we've got better dates nowadays, so now we know that the extinction event wasn't 65 million years ago. It was actually closer to 66. Maybe a little bit more than 66. Like 66.0025 or something like that. Yeah, the margin of error is still larger than we'd like, but we now know it's 66 and not 65. We've got better dating methods, more precise ways of telling how old the rocks are. Ooh. What was that? It almost looks crocky. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes the glue heats up in the sun and it just squirts out everywhere. That's what you just saw, chat. That's annoying. I'm not sure what this is, but the texture almost reminds me of like crocodile osteoderm.
It's possible.
Yeah.
We got a croc tooth found yesterday. So.
Nice. I should say crocodiliform. But croc can be short for crocodiliform.
Oh, you can get the stuff that's right under the sandbag too. What? You can get the matrix that's right underneath the other sandbag as well. You see those flat pieces? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my bugs. Yeah. And Will8176 says, used to find trilobites on my grandparents' farm all the time in New Mexico. Cool. So that means those rocks would have been from the Paleozoic era, from before the dinosaurs. Because trilobites and dinosaurs did not coexist.
I don't think so.
All the trilobites were extinct by the time that dinosaurs evolved.
Yeah, they should go there.
But they were a super successful group. Trilobites were around for a long, long time. Yeah. And Murph says, of the turtles found, how similar are they? Any idea? We really don't know yet. We don't have a turtle expert on our crew. We know that we've got trionychid turtle, and it looked like we had maybe baenid turtle too. So trionychids are soft-shelled turtles, baenids are like kind of, what are they, like tortoise-like turtles? I don't even know. But we'll have to study them back in the lab and really bone up on our turtle knowledge to be able to figure out if any of these guys are new. But yeah, it's good to see you, Murph. I hope you're doing well.
Ethan said he'll be here in 6 minutes.
Okay. Are we supposed to wrap up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and do that then. Yeah, that could be croc or that could be turtle right there. That piece. It's got that kind of like golf ball texture. It looks a little shallow to be croc. I think this is another random turtle chunk. There you go, right there, chat. So, let's see. We've got a turtle chunks bag. How do we do that? I forget.
Just been putting turtles in their own unique bag.
Okay, I'll wrap this one up real quick if you throw me the TP and the tape and the...
Actually, I've got my own roll of TP. So
Oh, lovely.
here's this.
Beautiful, thanks.
And then here's this.
Thank you. All right, and then I got to wrap up this stream because we're going to be heading out. I'm guessing Ethan will probably want to work on getting some more of that hadrosaur down. Or maybe everybody's just so exhausted over there he wants to head back. But we shall see.
Alright, well, I'm gonna run back over the...
Cool.
Alright, cool, thanks.
Thanks, Nick.
No problem.
Oh, grab your battery thing too. Yeah, you bet. All right. Turtle, turtle, turtle. Turtle shell. So I don't need to label the individual ones, right? Okay, cool.
Oh, actually, this is two parts of the same specimen, so that should hopefully stay
Oh,
together.
okay.
Oh, yeah, there's little bags in here. So I'm just saying, lower bone bed, turtle shell, and this is bigger than
Okay. Erp. Hey, Ethan. Cool. All right, we're wrapping up now. Sounds good. Cool. See you in a few. Bye. All right. Man, he sounds tired. Yeah. So let me label this real quick, and then we'll wrap up this game. Turtle Hill 2024.
Are you specifying the lower bone bed?
Yeah,
Okay, excellent. Just making sure.
just right in that lower bone bed. Turtle. Exquisite.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Got these, and let's wrap this up. Ooh. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. And let's see who else is live on Twitch at the moment. We can do a raid here. See who else is on. Let's go say hello to Science Streams again. Excellent. We'll do that. For everybody watching, you're going to have a great time at Science Streams. So Balint is a working research scientist, a molecular and systems biologist, and I think he's working on some new emotes today, maybe? Science_streams. Beautiful. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Thank you for your enthusiasm, for your support, for your wonderful questions, for your... Oh, hang on. Hey, Ethan. Hello? Did you butt dial me? Yes. Thank you for everything, everybody. And with any luck, I'll be streaming again tomorrow, maybe from the Ceratopsian site. We'll see. But yeah, hope you learned something today. Hope you had a good time. Hope you've got a newfound appreciation for paleontology and for the history of life on our incredible planet Earth. Till next time, everybody, you take care of yourselves, and let's go tune in to Science Streams. I will... Whoop, where did that go? Where's the raid thing? I'm supposed to be able to... goodness. The button is gone. Raid's going. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you later. Ticking. How many seconds left? About 20 seconds? I went to hide the other thing with the 65 link, and it also hid the raid thing. So I can't do it. Anyway. 5, 10. Okay, we're going now. Excellent.